Welcome back, folks, and good morning. No, that was too much energy. Good morning, folks, and welcome back to I'd Lather Be Shaving. I am Douglas Smythe, and with me to my left,
Matt Pisarcik.
We have one hell of a show for you today. We are going to be delving into what I'd like to call
the $1.95 Fatboy adjustable safety razor. We're going to be doing a handle touch test challenge.
Sounds so wrong.
And lastly, giving you some pro tips on collecting Fatboy razors and a little pro tip about their case.
All this and more, folks. Stay tuned.
The year is 1957 through 1961. Alaska and Hawaii both become states. NASA is incorporated. Too much. And the Berlin Wall is constructed. Much better. And today we're going to be looking at another amazing hallmark of that period. The Gillette $1.95 adjustable safety razor made its debut. Now, originally coming out in D1 date code 1957. These razors today are considered kind of one of the holy grails of razors for a wet shaving enthusiast to own. The razors, when they first came out, obviously were $1.95. Obviously $1.95. The name Fatboy was given by collectors and razor enthusiasts probably in the 90s.
Years later.
Nowhere on Gillette's advertising do you see the word Fatboy. I think a lot of people started calling it that because of the slim adjustable.
To differentiate between the two.
Yeah, because Gillette did use the word slim. These razors have a 3-inch handle or so, maybe a little bit more, like 3 1/8. They provide a shave that is able to basically run through the same angles of exposure and blade gap distance as the Super Speed Trio provided. The light, the regular, the heavy, blue tip, red tip, all that. Right. This handle was kind of a natural progression after that period of time to bring all those handles into one handle.
So it's 3-in-1.
Yeah, to Gillette, this was the answer of a razor that could shave different kinds of people's beards. So it was one razor to rule them all.
The people's razor.
Yeah.
And I noticed there's like a bug box thing going on with that case. Is that a magnifying glass?
Yeah, it is. So the same German industrial designer that did the Super Speed Trio actually designed this case to look super low profile and kind of futuristic. And yeah, you can see the magnifier really showing off that this is an adjustable razor.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, even in competitors like the Schick dial adjustable, like flat out just took that same idea.
Yep.
Speaking of competitors, so one of the interesting things with Gillette Fatboy razor at that time, it's the first razor that Gillette debuted their super blue blades.
Interesting.
In fact, the very first razors shipped, the Fatboys, were originally shipped with just standard blue blades. And salesmen, like my old friend Roy Johnson, actually were responsible for going into stores and swapping out the blade packs to super blue blades.
Did they tell anyone they were doing this?
They didn't. In fact,
really?
No. The salesmen themselves learned about this super blue blade in a very unique way. So Roy told me a story when all the salesmen throughout the entire country were brought to Texas to a conference, and they actually handed all the salesmen, when they checked into their hotel, a razor, and it was a Psycho Tech Lock, so you couldn't actually get the blade out to look at it. And they were told to shave with it that night and come down for the meeting the next morning and tell them their findings.
Yeah.
And all these guys, all these salesmen, couldn't believe how smooth of a shave this new blade was, and they handed out keys, and they opened all the little Psycho razors, and out comes the super blue blade. So the only thing super about it was that there was a Teflon coating added.
Oh, I thought I was expecting a tiny little cape.
So, I mean, it's a carbon steel blade still, but they made it a little more smooth by just putting a little Teflon. Now, on the market at the same time is the Wilkinson Sword. Stainless steel blade made its debut. In fact, if you guys haven't already read the Russell Adams book, on all about the King Gillette company, King C. Gillette, and his wonderful shaving device.
Highly recommended.
There's a great chapter in here all about the stainless steel era of time that was happening. And Gillette kind of answered Wilkinson Sword's stainless steel blades by saying, hey, we have super blue blades. It wasn't until like the 60s when they actually did make a stainless steel blade.
Huh, how about that?
Yeah.
So no tiny cape.
Right, no tiny cape. But today, these razors are considered, again, one of the kind of holy grails. They provide a great shave. And you can find these in the range of $50 to $80, I'd say, for unrestored. If you do go with the restored, replated, it's going to be a little more than that, or polished, whatever.
Now, what were these plated in again, originally?
Original finish is electroless nickel plating.
Did you say nipple?
Electroless nickel.
Oh, nickel.
Yeah, so it's nickel. So it basically was plated like in a large barrel, kind of spinning, and all the parts kind of clink together, which is why you kind of have all these little dings and dents. People today look at these as kind of a really expensive high-end razor, but again, $1.95. Gillette was selling super speeds for $1. And so this was only twice the price, but you have all this functionality of the adjustment dial.
I stopped hearing him after nipple.
So for the next segment, we're gonna do a handle touch challenge.
So dirty and unfair. I mean, this guy's touching handles all day. Pervert.
Awkward.
Wicked. So, as you can see, folks, we are blindfolded and holding bubble-wrapped razors. We are going to, well, we're going to try to tell you which or what these razors are without looking at them.
Simply by the handle pattern, length, texture alone.
Yes. So, I think I'm going to fail badly at this, since I don't often feel up my razors, at least not consciously. So here you go, Matt. I think I don't know what this is, but here you go.
Okay.
You just squeezed my pinky.
Okay. So this is our first one?
Apparently.
All right.
Don't say it until I prompt you guys.
Okay. It feels like the bottom kind of gets a little bit bigger, and it feels like it's an X pattern knurl. So I think I know what this is. All right.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fatboy.
Okay.
I think it's an aristocrat, but I'm just putting that out there. Now, do I grab another one? Okay, here we go. This one. Now, do we get any clues at all? No. It's weird because being blindfolded, it actually has a slimming effect. Not on me, but on the razor handle. It feels thinner than what I think it actually is.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
The handle does feel thin, but I feel a taper right here where it gets a little bit bigger. It also feels like it has a pattern to it, though this pattern, I'm trying to deduce what this pattern is. If it's a X pattern, or if it is a squared kind of pattern. I think this is a slim adjustable. That's my guess on this one.
Well, you weren't supposed to guess until 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of I think I get a tech vibe from that. The pattern to me was more paisley or floral.
Okay. I think I ruined that one by saying out loud, but I do believe this is a slim adjustable.
Okay. And it's funny you should say that, but okay. Here, take this one.
Okay, this one.
Don't say it out loud yet.
Can I describe it?
Yes, you may.
Okay, the first thing I pick up on this is that the handle's lighter. It sounds hollow, and it does, but it's longer, and the pattern itself is more of like a vertical kind of knurl. And there's a bottom plate down here that is separated from the handle. I would say Super 109.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Schmuck.
I told you what we should have done. He guesses and I guess. So this is what I know I was going to do.
Next.
Wait, did I get? I didn't get to say what I thought it was.
Yeah. Doug, what do you think it was?
A super slim, adjustable.
Okay.
Okay, this one feels like it's Bakelite. Or definitely a plastic handle. I get... See, the Bakelite test is you create a little friction on the handle, and then you can smell it.
I didn't know about that.
It has like almost a formaldehyde type scent if it is Bakelite. This is what you do if you're in an antique shop or whatnot.
What does formaldehyde smell like, and why do you know?
I know things, Matt. You ever kill anybody?
No, but I'm wearing a blindfold.
Right on. You're well on your way. Okay, so this is the most interesting handle I've ever felt while being blindfolded, I'll have to say. It feels pretty. I'm gonna wait to guess what this is.
Good, that's what we're supposed to do.
But so I hear. But I don't know. It's really. It feels, it's interesting what it feels like. Almost like a whistle.
Like a whistle.
Folks, you probably don't know this because it's been edited up to this point, but Matt's been screwing up this game left and right. He's been shouting out. I gotta tell you, he has never given me a chance to guess because he's so excited about this. I think he's even. Yes, he's peed himself a little as well. But hopefully this time he'll keep his mouth shut
All
until.
right.
Okay,
I will keep the mouth shut.
I picked this for you.
Okay. Yeah, I know what this is. I'm not going to say anything. Because that's the object of the game, apparently, is to not shout out what you think.
I can't think of the name of it, but I know what it is too. But I'm gonna.
All right, Judge, let's get a countdown.
1, 2, 3.
Slim
Gem.
twist.
Super slim. Twist.
Ah.
Well,
So these were all Gillette razors.
it looks like I was 4 of 4.
You got them
You're
all.
disqualified.
So
So getting all the right answers.
I got a TKO.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So a lot of you out there may have picked up a safety razor that's in a original case like this. Maybe it's a Super Speed, a Fatboy, whatever. And you're wondering what blade dispenser should go with it. Well, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know. Gillette included dispensers from the factory that have the original instructions, and they're usually wrapped in cellophane still if they're original. Always, Gillette included a 6-pack dispenser with the original set. So if you have a set with the original blades, they're going to be 6-pack. If you got a pack from the grocery store, they were sold in 5, 10, 15, 20.
Right.
But never again 6. So that's one little way of kind of making sure your case and your razor are kind of authentically historic.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Another little tip, folks. You may want to feel up the razor on the handle. No, you may want to feel up the handle on the razor just in case you're ever invited to do a. What was that contest called?
Handle touch test.
The handle touch
At
test.
a party sometime.
I'm gonna go home and it's nonstop. But before we take off, before I head home and start filling up my razor handles, I want to tell you about this. That's right, folks. This is a must-read right here. This is pretty much yes, back and front.
Russell Adams.
This is like the go-to book by Russell Adams. It's The Man and His Wonderful Shaving Devices, King C. Gillette.
Yep.
I highly recommend this. It's a great read, and it tells you the beginning and almost the end of Gillette. It's the entire history.
Yeah.
It's a terrific read, and what makes this particular book so special, more special than most, is it's autographed by the author.
Oh, that's interesting. Mine just happens to say property of Gillette Corporation. So I don't know.
You cad. You
More
cad.
special.
But thanks for joining us again today.
Like, comment, or subscribe. And subscribe.
Please subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And I think it's beer o'clock. What? It's like 10 a.m., right?
Yep.
Okay,
Let's
we're out of
get
here,
beer.
folks. Cheers.